Welcome back to Modern Homestead Alaska and the Every Bit Counts Challenge. You get the pleasure of spending some time in my pantry with me. Those of you that have followed me for a long time are going to be quite proud of me that today's pantry is not nearly as messy as all of the other pantry videos. So we have been staying on top of things here on the homestead. I am proud of me, so pat on my own back. There we go. Now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, this is my upstairs overflow is what I call it, or my working pantry. This is where everyday things happen here in our modern homestead here in Alaska. We're South Central Alaska. We're almost across from Anchorage on the inlet. If you know anything about the geographics of Alaska, and shopping is difficult. We can shop, we do have stores, all of that fun stuff here in Alaska. However, for certain things, i.e. spices, grains, so on, they are incredibly difficult to get here. But I have a solution, and that is Azure. I'm short on time. I have to put an Azure order in today. So you and I are gonna work in the pantry and place an Azure order. Won't you join me for this video of the Every Bit Counts Challenge in August of 2023. Welcome to Modern Homestead Alaska. We are Erin and Jessica Milnes. We are building a modern homestead outside of Wasilla, Alaska, with the help of 3 of our children. Our second son, Caleb, our daughter, Cody Ann, and the youngest of our family, Wyatt, along with our 3 dogs, Tipper and Daisy, and the newest addition, Roberto. Okay, let me share with you a little bit on how my pantry works. So I brought props. I have some stuff in my house. I have spices right there on open shelving in my kitchen. I have a spice section. I have a regularly used spice, daily spice, and then I have a baking section. Our pantry is set up very, very similar. So what happens is this jar is in my kitchen. I just pull from this as I need, and then when it's empty, I come in here, I get the half gallon. The half gallon will fill this jar twice, and so on. The other day, all of that was empty. So I had to go to the basement, and I got this tote and brought it up. There's very few spices, believe it or not, in comparison to how many I own or how many I keep on hand up here. I don't overstock a lot of them. There are a few that we do overstock because we are going to go through more than on an average year what can be held in the half-gallon jars. In the smaller use spices, they also have their own, would be some things like what's up here, which is like maybe turmeric or clove or allspice. Things that I would use very small amounts. I only store the overflow size in a quart, and then in the kitchen, some of these are moved into pint-sized jars. So everything I do in my kitchen is based on how frequently I use those spices and what spices I use to cook with. So with that said, I've gone to the basement, I've gotten the overflow because we are completely out of certain things. Black pepper is an example, red pepper flakes is an example, and so on. And I will get them out of here from last year's spices. We will fill all of this first, and then we'll place our Azure order. I did want to share, I do store these, and the way that I do them is I take the Azure bag that it comes in, and then I put a little slit in the Azure bag with some scissors. I place this in another bag, and it goes into the chamber vac. So we are sucking out all of the air. All of this is still really robust. You can see the date 8/2022. So all of these were put in here this month last year, We have already worked our way through several of these spices, completely worked our way through it. Anything that we haven't, we will obviously not be buying backups for that. We will continue to work our way through. But anything that we have or that we don't have a backup for, we will be placing an order. I'm literally looking in here and saying, okay, garlic powder. However, when I run out of that, there is no backup after this. So let's get this first part done and then we'll place the order. Okay, what you're gonna see me doing, let me address it, my breathing. I have gotten comments on some of my videos that allergies are really high right now. I do have an issue with my breathing sometimes. It's not asthma. I don't necessarily notice always when I'm doing it, but when I'm excited, which I am kind of excited to do this, I enjoy this, I get a little bit amped up and breathing becomes kind of hard for me. I just struggle along through it. There's nothing that can be done about it. Therefore, I'm telling myself, take deep breaths. If this video bothers you, I'm really, really sorry. Just move on and come back later. It isn't always a thing for me, but I know that when someone breathes odd, that it bothers certain people. I am maybe one of those people that it would bother. So I totally get it. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to take deep breaths and calm down as we go through this, but on to what we're actually doing. What I'm going to do is pull anything from the kitchen that needs refilled from the half gallon. Okay, so step to step to step. This is exactly how my pantry works. It's the best example for you. So I'm gonna go red peppers. These I literally just opened the other day. We were having pizza and we're completely out and that wasn't gonna work. So I went down and got that. Okay, so this is gonna go back to the kitchen. So you're on a little rolly cart that I got a while ago from the Home Depot, and it is my favorite thing because it does make life a little bit easier for me going back and forth with all of these things. So then I pop in here. See how well sealed that was? And I'll just give it another little cut. You can hear it. The air gets, and I got an immediate like heavy whiff of red pepper flakes. There we go. Okay, friends. So this will get put into this half gallon. Okay. And there we go. Someone had asked me about dates on one of my videos. Obviously, I date things. You can date the bottoms of your jars if you're doing this in a much smaller quantity than what I do. We just try and cook so much from scratch. And it is so few options here in Alaska to actually eat if you're out and about. Anywhere beyond the very few cities that there are or towns. So you take a lot of food along, so you do a lot of home cooking here. The next step is I have gone through this long-term year or more storage that goes into our basement, and there are no more red pepper flakes here. So I come on to Azure's website. Awkward video, here we go. Azure's website here. This is the one, see it says I've ordered it before. I'm gonna ask for my options there. And I'm gonna go with 3 of the 1 pound. This is exactly what I ordered last year. It's lasted us a year. That's how we know that's exactly what I want. And then I close that out. It goes over here into my cart. And then I move on to the next spice. That's what you're gonna see me do in time lapse, is this exact process. While we time lapse, I'll readdress the expiration dates. Spices have very, very long expirations. It is the air that causes it to lose its flavor. So by sealing the jars or sealing the packages, we extend that life. I'm gonna pull you in really quick as I'm ordering this, and I'm looking at this spice and going, what do I use? And let me show you. Okay, so the thing I've ordered is 3 times 1 pound of this hot chili powder. Here's where we're at. I had refilled what was in the kitchen, so this is already refilled. And then that left about half of this jar, and then this is the 1 pound that is going in there. Now, here is where my mind kind of starts working. I know that a lot of you ask me these questions, which is why I'm working through my brain with you, is on the black peppercorns. I order that twice a year because we use so much. Cumin, some of the other things that I use a bit more. The reason I use less of the hot chili powder is because I use regular chili powder as well. It is here. It will get refilled. So in my brain, it's saying, what do I actually need to keep on hand? So what I'm thinking is I'm going to step down. Now the rotation seems to be working, and I'm just going to do 1 pound, which does cost me a little bit more. Oh, and that was out of stock. Okay, give me a second. So 1 pound is 47 cents an ounce, whereas 3 times 1 pound is 41 cents an ounce. Okay, let's see. When I click on here, chili powder hot blend, that, okay, view options. That's what I thought we had gotten. Okay, so available August 23rd. Oh, okay. So they are out of what I want, both the 3 times 1 pound until August 23rd and the 1 pound. So I'm just going to have to put this on my list because I'm not going to pay the additional in order to get it in ounces. 4 times 4 ounces. 14.27 an ounce. No, we're not doing that. Okay, so we're just gonna wait on this item until it is back in stock. But when I do order this item, it's just gonna be a 1 pound, and then we'll see if that's a better rotation than 3 pounds of it a year. All right, so that is it. And I still have empty spice jars, or nearly empty spice jars. So we're just gonna start at the end over here. Split things over. I always try to have a rhyme or reason in the order of the jars. Like these are kind of green things like oregano and Italian blend, parsley, and those sort of things. And I refill those less often, but the ones I refill all the time just end up kind of mumbo jumbo in there. But I know what spices are in this area, and then I can see not only the tops of the jars, but the fronts of the jars are labeled. I get questions on my labels. My neighbor made them for me, like some sort of cricket or something like that. So no, she doesn't sell them. They were just kind of gifted to me, but they're beautiful and I love them as well. So over here, I'm not seeing anything I need. First one up, black peppercorn. We've already talked about that. I go in and I check. 3 times 1 pound is going to be $43.31. We have a budget, so we can't do double that, whereas I technically need double that, but that is okay for now. Cinnamon. Let's add that one in. I have no backup. Cinnamon powder. Cinnamon powder. Okay, so we do 3 times 1 pound previously on the cinnamon powder. Let's see what options we have here. It is $29. Add to cart. We're gonna go to ginger. Ginger. ginger root powder, view options. What we ordered before was the 3 times 1 pound. We're gonna drop that down and do 1 pound at $7.40. Garlic powder on time lapse, I already did that. Red pepper flakes, we've already gone through. Paprika, here's the funny thing. I don't know why we pulled this out instead of the one that's in the kitchen. They're kind of 2 different colors because they were 2 different manufacturers. I have 1 pound of this, and so we're not going to get any of it, but that jar is almost empty. Thus, the 1 pound is going to go in here, and I will worry about that when I do it. Mustard powder. And these are just my my spices that I use constantly. Do what works best for you. Yellow mustard seed powder. Take it up here. 3 times 1 pound is what? 3 times 1 pound is what we ordered last time. We will add a pound of that at $9.80. Everything but the bagel seasoning is what's behind there. That I get at Costco, and so we're not going to worry about that. Garlic salt. I normally get my garlic salt at Costco, but I wanted to see if Azure had one. We just become kind of accustomed to certain things, so it's funny when you go to try to garlic sea salt nugget. Nope, that is not what we're looking for. We'll stick to what we've done. I do know that I can make garlic salt. I just buy it instead of doing everything myself. So next we have is rancher steak rub. I'm gonna type it in wrong. Call it maybe steak seasoning. I forget what. Okay, Montreal seasoning for steaks is what it's called with Azure. And based on this is all I have left, none left in the kitchen. We are going to do what we generally do, so which is the 3 times 1 pound at $16.49. The hot chili powder we've already put on there. Cumin we've already gotten on there. Onion powder. Few options. We are going to do the 3 times 1 pound for $17.56 on that one. Now I'm going to breeze through what is up here. These are all salts, everything from curing salts, pickling salts, so on. White pepper, I decided I would try that out. That is in a quart-sized jar. I really did like it on certain things where I don't want a lot of color from like the black pepper. So we are gonna add that. Okay, white pepper, few options. I had gotten 4 ounces, jeez. $24 a pound, so we'll go 1 pound at $19.93. So for 1 pound of this, it's $19. It's kind of a price thing. Jars, salt, nutmeg. No, we don't need any of that. We don't need any cayenne. Don't need that. Still have some clove. The beef bouillon, we blow through that. I want to increase the size of that. Beef broth. Okay. As says broth beef flavored. That is what we're going to go with. 1 pound of it is $6.30 or 3 pounds. So we'll just do 1 pound for now before we blow our budget. The tomato bouillon, I get that at the regular grocery store. We use that in all of our Mexican rices. Sage leaves we're good on. This pumpkin pie spice we're good on. Okay, this is the mushroom soup base. I know that these couple of things are not actually like typical in the spices, but we use them a ton. So we've used 1 pound in the last year, so we'll just do 1 more pound of that. Allspice we're good. Dill seed, dill weed, cilantro, marjoram, catnip, extra hot chili. Turmeric we're good. The allspice, the whole allspice. So that looks like you would think that I need to order it, but believe it or not, I use very few of the whole allspice ever. And then this Aaron uses, sometimes it's the 3-color peppercorns. I don't like it. So he uses it, and then we have some yellow mustard back there. Okay, so now I just need to go through my cart. I have for the month from Azure a $300 budget, which is quite large, believe it or not. It's but we're talking a year's worth of spices. So I had to remove a couple of Wish items. I had some Wish pastas and stuff on there. I had to remove those because one of them was like $80. And then I'm gonna jump up here and see if there's anything else that I need. If not, right now, just off of, I do have 1 Wish item on there. So a chicken flavored broth, mushroom soup, beef flavored, white pepper, onion powder, the Montreal steak seasoning, mustard powder, ginger, cinnamon, chili powder that's like medium normal, cumin, garlic powder, whole peppercorns, and crushed red chili flakes. And then there's like an essential oil for $14.72 that I would like to try. So we're at $261.32. I'm gonna breeze through my pantry and see if there's anything else that I think I need. If not, we'll close out this order. Okay, I did try, because I keep my water glassed eggs here in the pantry. I did try to get a little bit more of the Cal Lime, which is for water glassing eggs. They are out of stock on that, and it doesn't give me a date of when they expect to have that back in stock, so we'll skip that. I'm gonna run to my pantry and see if the kitchen and see if there's anything that just kind of pops out to me there. I know I'm good on vinegar for canning because I did it in all 5 gallons. I know I'm good on honey. I know I'm good on peanut butter. And I know I'm good on grains as far as all that goes and the most basic things. And then last, I'll just check real quick my laundry stock to see if I need any laundry soap or those sort of things, because I get my cleaning products as well from Azure. And then that may be it. We may have gone. All right, so I've gone through everything, and I'm sure as always, I will go to checkout, I will process, and then I'll say, oh man, I forgot, blah, blah, blah. I do try throughout the month to go onto Azure anytime I'm out or use something up, and I just pop it on the my cart, and then I save it until I close out. So let me close out really quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've checked everything off camera, my credit card and what have you. Not obviously going to post that. So, and I've placed it. there's something called Azure Cash. Certain items that you order from Azure, you get money back on them. Some items are on sale, so on and so forth. Azure has a great program. You don't have to be a member. This is not like Thrive Market and some of the other places where you have to have a membership and then you pay a fee and so on. Even Costco costs a fee. Azure ships here to Alaska, which is amazing. And it is so helpful for me to get organic, amazing products all the way up here that I couldn't have gotten otherwise. So that is why I'm such a big fan of Azure. We do pay an additional shipping to the barge company, which is not Azure here in Alaska. So when I go to pick up my Azure, I have an additional little cash payment that is due at that time. Azure has shipping to certain parts of the country, but not all. You'll have to do some of that research on your own. And then the other thing is when you do order from Azure, they give you a little thing called Share Azure, and it's your own code that you share with your friends and family. And every time someone orders something like $100 or more from your code, you get $25 back in Azure Cash. I forget what the exact dollar amount is that they have to order. So with that said, if I'm how you hear about Azure, please, please, please use my link in the description box and the code. And what that does is allows my family $25 so that we can have these things shipped here in Alaska and I can continue to share Azure with you. Today I did have from you guys in the past $50, so 2 people have in the past used that code that I put out, and I am so grateful to you, and I hope that you will use your code now with your friends and family, and that the cycle just kind of continues and everyone can kind of get some free groceries here and there. So thank you so much, those of you that have used my code in the past. If you haven't tried Azure yet and you're interested, please use my code now. I know that might sound a little begging and pleading, but if they're gonna give away free $25, you might as well give it to someone that you know and love, me. So anyway, okay, I'm in a funky mood. Today, I'm gonna finish cleaning out my pantry. That is my task for today as the Every Bit Counts challenge goes. I know that what most people are doing is canning and those sort of things. And I have placed an order for spices. I have refilled spices from the long-term overflow storage into here. We've gone through and we've organized it. And I really believe that this is such a vital part of the challenge of pantries in general, is setting up a pantry that works for you and your family as best you can, and then having these things on hand so you're not buying the little tiny quantities at the store here and there, but you're buying large quantities that you're going to use, only things that you will use, and then you are able to save your family some money in the end. And then as we move forward throughout the month, what's really important to have these is everything that we are prepping, cooking, canning, preserving. We have what we need as far as all of that goes. So let me just put you on time lapse for a minute. I'm gonna breeze through and just tidy up this pantry. I have about an hour, it's 2 o'clock now. There's a cutoff on Azure orders. Our time is 3. I have about an hour that if I do blow through here and find something that I'm like, oh crud, I needed that, I could still add it to my Azure order. So enough chit chat, get to work, Jessica. Without having each and every individual here at my house walk through my pantry and understand it, it's kind of difficult to show all the layers and so on video. So I hope that some of you have gotten a better understanding of how my pantry works, and this actually applies to all the different areas. Do you want to do a bonus second project with me? So today will be 2 projects all in the pantry. We'll call the pantry 1 project, but because I keep all of these things separate in my head, it is an additional project. Here's what happened. This happens to me a lot. Those of you who have followed for any amount of time, I have an Azure order that I did not put away. Everything is fine. Nothing is expired. All of it is movie. We have such low humidity. People don't believe it. We're at is considered a desert because our humidity level is nil. Although it rains all the time, we get tons of snow and moisture. So I had not put away this baking order here. Here's the colossal mistake I almost made. While going through and cleaning out the pantry, I grabbed my phone like I do and I started making a list. Oftentimes these things are either bought at Azure. When I was looking at some of them, I know the price of some of these things. There's no way I can afford this month to put them on that Azure order. They'll have to go into the future. Therefore, I started making a list of them. And then the other thing is a lot of this is bought Costco, Walmart, you know, give or take 3 Bears, believe it or not, which is what I call the Alaska grocery store. A lot of these things are bought there as well. So I just started kind of making myself a list that I could check off. Colossal mistake would have been ordering cornstarch again because I just simply didn't put it away. Or let's see, baking powder is super low. I didn't put the baking powder away. Those sort of things. I have this whole little tote here of stuff that, and it's very random. This is some whole millet. We got some hemp hearts, some pumpkin seeds, flaxseed, so on. And all of these things go up throughout the pantry here. Once upon a time, I had done what we did today, went through, checked everything out, and then made a list, ordered off of that list, and now I need to actually put these things away. So this is going to be project number 2. Same video though. Ironically, it's all Azure as well. So I need to put this away so I can finish cleaning out the pantry. And then at some point we'll move on to canned goods that I can versus cans that I purchase canned items, and so on. Oh, and I'm super excited because I'm looking here at that shelf-stable whipped cream. Azure now carries, it's coconut, but coconut cream and coconut milk and all of these different things. So maybe in a future Azure video, we'll order some of that. But let me stay on task for once in my life and actually put all of this away. Even though we're calling this a bonus, second project, those sort of things, the truth of the Every Bit Counts challenge is getting prepared for the future, your food storage, your food preps, how does all of that work, so on and so forth. So I am such a big believer that if it means we are filling jars with products that we have purchased, or we're filling jars with things that we've canned ourselves, all of it is preserving and preparing for the future, for the next season, what is coming up over winter. Winters are long here in Alaska, especially. All of this, in my mind, counts. So I hope you do your very best this month as well. All right, friends, there you have it. We have made it to the end. It's pretty tidy in here. I'm always so happy to complete a task like this, and then to add the additional task unexpectedly today of getting some of these other things moved out of the paper containers and into jars, lessening the risk of bugs and those sort of things getting into my pantry. I do have these 2 sections that they are being rotated during this challenge into all jarred things that we can and preserve together. So there's some cleanup and some rearranging that needs to be done there. We just started even getting here in Alaska in 2021. This pantry wasn't even done until 2022. It's now 2023. So kind of a live and learn. It's designed and built by us, all of that fun stuff. And so everything is kind of custom to how we live. And so it's taken a little bit of time to figure all of that out. I'm glad that you spent some time with me. Thank you so much for being here today. If you haven't yet, would you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, you get notifications, thumbs up, and comments do help my channel to grow. I'm greatly appreciative of all of you that stick around, hang out with me, and return time and time again. If you're new, I hope you become one of those that hang out with us on the regular basis. So anyway, thank you all. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.